Hi guys! Today we have a strong practice. We are going to be focusing on the upper body strength and the core strength, but also we are going to incorporate some upper body stretches, and we are going to play with the headstands as an option. So we are going to start seated at the back of the mat. I will just stay here so I can face you for the first minutes of the practice. And you can sit with the legs crossed. Of course, you can keep the hips elevated here, or you can sit on the shins. And then close the eyes. Taking a few moments to align the body. So the shoulders land on top of the hips. The chest is open and the face is relaxed. The arms heavy, the hands resting on top of the thighs or on top of the knees. See if you can find a bit more ease in this position. Inhale and exhale. We are going to start the practice with inhalation for the count of 4 and exhale also for the count of 4 through the nose. If you want to use Ujjayi pranayama, this breathing technique where you create constriction at the back of the throat, of course you can do that, or just stay with natural breath. So exhale, let go of the air. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now inhale naturally and exhale. And you can stay with your eyes closed here. Drop the chin to the chest and then roll the right ear to the right shoulder. Find length down the left side of the neck and then chin to the chest. Left ear to the left shoulder. Chin to the chest. Right ear, right shoulder. Chin to the chest. Left ear, left shoulder. Chin to the chest, right ear, right shoulder. then chin to the chest, left ear to the left shoulder. And then once again drop the chin to the chest and place the hands at the base of the skull, interlace the fingers. Pull the elbows towards each other, finding length down the neck. Just hold here. Inhale, elbows apart, arch the back. Press the back of the head into the hands. Slide the shoulder blades to the spine and then exhale. Chin to the chest, run the back body, elbows together. Inhale, open, lift the chest. Arch the back. And then exhale, chin to the chest. Elbows together. Once again here, inhale, open, lift the tailbone, lift the chest. And then exhale, chin to the chest, elbows together, tuck the tailbone under. And on your next inhalation, find neutral spine, pull the elbows to the back, hide the lower ribs in, hold here. Inhale. And then as you exhale, release the hands. Take one more inhalation here. And exhale. And then open the eyes. And we are going to transition into a tabletop position. So the wrists under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. Place the left hand at the base of the skull once again, and then inhale. Twist the chest to the left elbow is pointing up. Exhale, tap the left elbow to the mat. Inhale, lift. Left elbow is pointing up, gaze on your left elbow. Exhale, scoop the abs as you tap the left elbow to the mat. Once again, inhale. Lift and hold. Extend the left arm above the head, make fist out of the hand and start circling the wrist. And then switch direction of the circle. Release the fist and exhale. Lower the left forearm to the mat. Lower the right forearm to the mat. Tuck the toes under. Press the forearms to the mat as you lift the knees, find your dolphin. Shift the chest to the back of the mat towards your toes. You can keep the knees bent here. Inhale here. Exhale, knees to a hover under the hips, scoop the abs. And then extend the legs. Pull the hips to the back, the chest towards your toes. And then exhale, lower the knees to a hover, keep the chest open. Inhale, lift the hips, extend the legs, find your dolphin. And then as you exhale, drop the knees to the mat, the top of the feet to the mat, and make your way into a tabletop position. Right hand at the base of the skull. Inhale, open the chest to the right. And then exhale, tap the right elbow to the mat. Inhale, lift, open the chest. Exhale, tap the right elbow to the mat as you scoop the abs. Inhale, lift, twist the chest to the right, hold. Extend the right arm above the head. Make fist out of the hand and start circling the wrist. And then switch direction of the circle. Release the fist and then exhale, lower the right forearm to the mat, lower the left forearm to the mat, tuck the toes under, press into the hands, into the forearms, and then lift the knees into a dolphin. Pull the chest to the back. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, lower the knees just to a hover. Press the space in between the shoulder blades up. And then once again, lift the knees. Find your dolphin. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, lower the knees to the mat. The top of the feet on the mat and hands under the shoulders. Step the hands forward. Hips will stay on top of the knees. Exhale, lower the belly towards the thighs, the chest to the mat for a puppy pose. And we are going to stay just on the fingertips and a few times bounce up and down. So lift and lower the chest, still controlling the movement, but feeling into this elastic rebound. And then stop the movement, lower the palms of the hands to the mat and find your puppy pose. Inhale. And exhale. Tuck the tailbone under. And then lower the thighs, the pelvis, and the belly to the mat, making your way into your Sphinx pose. Press the top of the feet to the mat to engage the glutes. Press the forearms to the mat to lift the chest a bit higher. And think of almost dragging the elbows towards the hip bones, opening the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Stay on the forearms, tuck the toes under. First, lift the hips. You are in your supported forearm plank. You can stay here or lift the knees from the mat. Engage the glutes, tuck the tailbone under slightly. And breathe. Make sure that the shoulders are still on top of the elbows. The chest is open, scoop the abs. Inhale. And exhale. And you have one more inhalation. Exhale, drop the knees to the mat. And then make your way into a shin stand. So we are kneeling. The hips are on top of the knees, shoulders on top of the hips. Place the hands on the hips, engage the glutes and find your camel pose. Opening the chest, pressing the hip bones forward, elbows are pointing to the back. Finding length through the front of the body. On your next inhalation, lift the chest. Shoulders land on top of the hips, tuck the toes under. Lower the hips on top of the heels. We are going to lift the knees and then drop the heels, extend the legs, make your way into a standing forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale, walk the hands forward. Find your plank position and just hold here. Inhale. And exhale, find your first downward facing dog. Pressing the hands to the mat, maybe heels slightly out, toes slightly in. Keep pulling the hips to the back. Relax the neck. And just breathe in here. And breathe out. Inhale, look to the front of the mat. Step the feet in between the hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, lower the belly towards the thighs. On your next inhalation, make your way into a standing position. Extend the arms above the head. And then exhale, hinge from the hips, lower the hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower the hands to the mat, step back into a plank position. Find your downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the forearms to the mat. Drop the knees to the mat so they are pretty close to the elbows. Press the hands to the mat, stay low with the chest, and as you start sliding the chest forward, start peeling the elbows and the forearms from the mat. The top of the feet on the mat. Inhale, upward dog. And then exhale, find your downward facing dog. A few cycles of breaths here. So inhale. And exhale. On your next inhalation, look to the front of the mat, step or hop in between the hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, lower the belly towards the thighs. Inhale, make your way into a standing position, arms above the head. Exhale, hinge from the hips, lower the hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come back to the mat, step back into a plank position. Find an in-breath here, meet the shape, rib to hip connection, and then exhale. Find your downward facing dog. Just one inhalation here, and then exhale, lower the forearms to the mat. One at a time or both at the same time, and then lower the knees to the mat. Press the hands to the mat as you start shifting the chest forward. Stay low with the chest. Start peeling the elbows, the top of the feet on the mat. Inhale, up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. And just hold here. Inhale. And exhale, lower the forearms to the mat. Press the hands into the mat and lift the forearms. 2 more times. Lower. And lift. Lower. And lift. Inhale. Find your plank position. Drop the heels to the right and then lift the left hand from the mat. Find your side plank. Just hold here. Inhale. Exhale, lower the left forearm to the mat. Drop the heels to the left. Extend the right arm above the head, side plank on the left forearm. Feel free to drop the left knee under the right knee if you need that extra support. And then as you exhale, lower the right forearm to the mat. Forearms are parallel to each other. Find your forearm plank. Inhale. Exhale, drop the knees to the mat, the top of the feet to the mat. Find your Sphinx pose. Engage the glutes. Stay here. Or extend the elbows. And just hold here for a moment. Inhale. And exhale, lower the forearms to the mat. Lower the chest to the mat. Place the hands next to the rib cage. Tuck the toes under. Make your way into your downward facing dog. Inhale. As you exhale, lower the forearms to the mat. Press the hands to the mat as you lift the forearms. And then lower. And lift. Lower. And lift. Inhale. Find your plank position. Drop the heels to the left. Extend the right arm above the head. Right foot is in front of the left one. The left fingers pointing to the front of the mat. Keep lifting the hips. Exhale, lower the right forearm to the mat. Drop the heels to the right. Extend the left arm above the head. Inhale. And exhale, lower the left forearm to the mat, the right forearm to the mat. Find your plank, hold for one inhalation. And then exhale, drop the knees. the top of the feet to the mat. Make your way into a Sphinx pose. And again, engage the glutes, press the hands to the mat, and either stay with the forearms on the mat or lift the elbows and the forearms, finding deeper back bend. Inhale. And then exhale, lower the forearms, the chest to the mat, slide the hands next to the rib cage, tuck the toes under, and then make your way into your downward facing dog. On your next inhalation, lift the right foot from the mat, one-legged downward dog, bend the right knee. As you pull the knee to the chest, shift the shoulders on top of the wrist, flex the right foot, and step the right foot in between the hands. Lower the left knee to the mat, inhale. Find your low lunge. Just hold here. Inhale. Exhale, lower the hands in front of the chest. And then point the left toes to the right. You can lift the hips slightly. Open the chest to the left. Extend the arms to the side. The right knee is still pointing forward. Exhale, bend the right knee. Finding this hip stretch, kind of like warrior two. Gaze on your right fingers. And just hold here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift the hips, extend the right leg, lower the left hand to the mat, so it's under the left shoulder, the right arm is reaching up. Left fingers are pointing to the back of the mat. You can stay here or press into the left hand and the right foot and step the left foot behind the right foot. You are in a plank position, the side plank position. And just hold here. Inhale. And then exhale once again, lower the left knee to the mat. Point the right toes to the front of the mat, and as you lift the upper body, bend the right knee. Lower the hands to the front of the mat, so we are framing the right foot. Tuck the left toes under. Lift the left knee from the mat. You are in your supported high lunge. And then extend the right leg, finding your pyramid pose. Maybe flex the right foot. Pull the right hip bone to the back, left forward. And just hold. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale. And exhale, drop the left knee to the mat, the top of the left foot to the mat. So we still have the hamstring stretch, but this time the left knee is under the left hip. Keep the hips square, the chest open. Just one more inhalation. And one more exhalation. And then lift the chest, walk the hands so they land under the shoulders. Step the right knee next to the left knee. Step the hands a bit more forward and drop the forearms to the mat. Tuck the toes under, make your way into your dolphin. We are just holding here. So press the chest to the space towards your toes, to the back of the mat. Keep pressing the forearms to the mat. Inhale. And exhale. Now press the hands to the mat. Lift the forearms, the elbows from the mat. You are in your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left foot from the mat. One-legged downward dog, bend the left knee. Pull the left knee to the chest, shift the shoulders on top of the wrists. Step the left foot in between the hands, lower the right knee to the mat. Inhale, lift the chest arms extended next to the ears. One in-breath here, and exhale, lower the hands in front of the chest. Point the right foot to the left. Open the hips and the chest to the right as you extend the arms to the side. Inhale here and then exhale. Bend the left knee is tractioning forward. The shoulders stay on top of the hips. Stay with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift the hips, extend the left leg, lower the right hand to the mat under the right shoulder. Extend the left arm above the head and hold here. You can stay here in a supported side plank or press the right hand and the left foot to the mat and step the right foot behind the left foot, finding your side plank. Take one more inhalation. Exhale, drop the right knee under the right hip. As you leave the upper body, bend the left knee. Lower the hands to the front of the mat. Square the hips, tuck the right toes under and lift the right knee from the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, extend the left leg. Peel the left toes from the mat, square the hips. Stay with the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Make sure that you are bending only from the hips. The lower back is flat. Take one more inhalation. And exhale, lower the right knee to the mat, right knee under the right hip. And hold here. Keep breathing into the left hamstring. Keep flexing the left foot. On your next in-breath, lift the chest slightly, walk the hands so they land under the shoulders. And then bend the left knee, step the left knee next to the right knee, step the hands a bit more forward. Then lower the forearms to the mat, tuck the toes under, and make your way into your dolphin. Inhale. And exhale. And now take one more inhalation. This time as you exhale, lower the knees to the mat, the top of the feet to the mat. Rest in your child's pose. On your next inhalation, you can make your way into a seat on the shins. Option to play with the headstand. If you don't want to do that, you can just rest in a child's pose. If you are going to play with it, interlace the fingers. Some people like hiding this bottom pinky. I don't like doing that, but see for yourself. So you're interlacing the fingers and placing the forearms on the mat, pressing the elbows to the mat. And even though it's a headstand, we keep the weight of the body more on the arms, the shoulders are engaged, and the head is there kind of just to help us with finding the balance. So the distance in between the elbows is more or less as at the length of one forearm, so you can measure that. And then drop the crown of the head, so not the forehead, the crown of the head to the mat. Tuck the toes under and start lifting the knees. And then you can walk the feet a bit more forward, pressing the forearms, the elbows to the mat. You don't even need to lift the feet from the mat. You can stay here and work on finding the alignment where the hips land on top of the shoulders. Okay, and then either pull one heel to the glute and hold here, and then after some time switch. Or maybe at some point you can pull both of the heels to the glutes. You can hold here, and then finally you can extend the legs so the toes are pointing to the ceiling. And if you have the strong headstand practice, you can also walk the feet closer to the elbows and then start lifting the legs. The legs are extended. Hide the lower ribs in. Just keep breathing. And take one more inhalation. As you exhale, start lowering the legs. Maybe the legs are extended, maybe just bend the knees. And then lower the feet on the mat. Make your way into a child's pose once again. Deep breath in. And long exhalation. On your next in-breath, start making your way into a tabletop position. Cross the ankles under the glutes. Make your way into a seat with the legs extended in front of you. Flex the feet. You can sit on some kind of support. Inhale. Extend the arms next to the ears. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Belly comes closer to the thighs. You can keep the knees bent. Just stay with the breath. Relax. And then on your next inhalation, lift the chest. Make sure that you have space behind you. Extend the arms in front of you and make your way on your back. Bend the knees, walk the feet a bit closer to the glutes. And on your next inhalation, press the feet, the heels to the mat, engage the glutes. And extend the arms next to the ears. And make this less about the back bend, but just finding length from the knees to your shoulders. So as soon as the hips are aligned with the knees, just hold here, engaging the glutes. Inhale. And then exhale, lower everything to the mat. Lower the hands next to the hips. And then pull the knees to the chest. Place one hand on each knee. And then start making circular movements with the knees. Switch direction. Take one more inhalation. Exhale, let go. Extend the legs. Make your way into your Savasana. just the body. Allow the body to become heavy, soft, just breathe. If you want to stay in your Savasana longer, as always, please do. And if you want to start bringing gentle movement into the body, see what kind of movement feels right and what kind of movement feels nice. Just notice what feels needed. You can roll the wrists, you can pull the knees to the chest and rock side to side. You can make your way into a fetal position. And then when you feel ready, land in a seated position. Take your time. We are going to finish with a box breathing. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, and hold also for the count of 4. So let go of the air. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale through the nose, and sigh out. Take your time here once again, and when you feel ready to finish the practice, maybe place the palms on top of the heart, feeling the breath in the body, and then thanking yourself for this practice. And thank you. Namaste.